Start recording. Okay. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Clausen.
Here.
Commissioner Cox.
Here.
Commissioner Raven. Here. Commissioner Phipps.
Here.
Mayor Hall.
Here. Consent agenda. Items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will occur unless a council member requests the item to be removed from the consent agenda. If an item is removed from the consent agenda, it will be considered elsewhere on the agenda for this meeting. Prior to asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda, the mayor will ask if anyone desires to remove an item from the consent agenda for public discussion. Would anybody like to have an item removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July the 18th, 2023, the bills and payroll for the last half of July 2023, and the home rehab check. Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Mr. Cox and roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Raven. Yes. Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Presentations, petitions, and communications. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for persons who desire to address the council. The Illinois Open Meetings Act mandates that the city council may not take action on comments received on matters that have not been identified on this agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the matter for action on the agenda for another meeting. Persons addressing the council are requested to limit their presentations to 3 minutes and to avoid repetitions comments. We would also ask you state your name and address for the record as well as stand when speaking. Would anybody like to address the council tonight? Anybody online who would like to address the council tonight?
I'll be good, Rick.
I guess I know who that was. Okay, so we go to new business. I move that we adopt resolution number 2023-3259, authorizing a successor 5-year extension to the lease of the office space in the police department building to the East Central Illinois Task Force, ECITF, for a term ending September 30th, 2028, and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement. And I have a second to that motion.
Second.
Second. Commissioner Clausen, and any comments anybody would like to make about this item?
They've been with us for years and years. They're a huge asset to have, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Raven. Yes. Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
A motion to adopt special ordinance number 2023-1866, approving a memorandum of understanding MOU between the city of Mattoon and the Mattoon Firefighters Association Local 691, providing a temporary variance regarding hiring of new probationary firefighters, new cadet part-time firefighters, and lateral hires, and authorizing the mayor to sign the MOU.
Can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Commissioner Graven, and comments on this?
I'd like to thank the Chief Hillegas's efforts on putting this together and kind of thinking outside the box and working with the union representatives as well. I think it's from a temporary MOU standpoint, it's going to be a good move, and I think it's going to yield some positive results.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Raven. Yes. Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes. Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Sorry. I make a motion to adopt special ordinance number 2023-1867, authorizing the mayor to sign an outright grant agreement by and between the city of Mattoon and Jasper Holding LLC reimbursing up to $58,304.25 from the Midtown TIF revenues over a 2-year period for demolition and construction of the structural wall to properties located at 1824, 1826, 1830 Broadway Avenue, and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement.
Can I have a second on that motion?
I'll second that, Mayor.
Commissioner Phipps, and comments about this?
This is just something that we've been working on for a little over a couple years, actually. I think trying to get something done with these buildings and demolishing them and trying to get some of it cleaned up. So we finally got them convinced to put the structural wall up and tear these down. So
Great.
and major improvement there for
Right.
in the Broadway.
All right. These are the buildings at the very end of Broadway. We can see them from City Hall straight south. They've they've looked terrible for a long time. It's right on one of the main routes through Mattoon, US 45 and 121. And it'll be a big improvement when we get it done. So yes. Any other comments or questions? And roll call, please.
Commissioner Phipps,
Yes.
Mr. Clausen,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Commissioner Raven,
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Motion to adopt special ordinance number 2023-1868, authorizing the promotion of Doug Holman to the wastewater treatment plant superintendent at a base pay of $76,000 effective July 31, 2023, and approving the wastewater treatment plant superintendent management contract.
And can I have a second on that motion?
I'll second that, Mayor.
Commissioner Phipps, and any comments, any discussion on this item?
I have a couple, or Dean can jump in. Doug, from what Dean sent me, Doug has previously 1.5 years experience, City of Arcola, 3.5 years experience, water treatment plant in Charleston, 4 years of experience here in Mattoon, total of 9. He has his Class A water treatment plant operator's license, which is the top level. He has a Class 4 wastewater treatment plant operator's license as well. And then he'll be testing for the Class 1 wastewater treatment plant operator's top level license.
Dean, any other comments?
I'll just say Doug's a really great guy with incredible mechanical aptitude, good kind of experience like Jim was mentioning. I think he will be a really good superintendent for years.
Okay. Good. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Raven.
Yes.
Mr. Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. I move to approve council decision request 2023-2396, approving the reappointment of Dr. Ned Hoppen and Judy Wynn to the Planning Commission with terms ending August the 17th, 2028. Can I have a second on that motion?
I'll second.
Commissioner Graven, and any comments on that? Anybody? They've been on for a while? Yeah, okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Raven.
Yes.
Mr. Phipps.
Yes.
Mr. Clausen.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2023-2397, approving the reappointments of Mike Armstrong, Rob Colombo, Sarah Dow, Chris Surdick, Tom Wright, and Bob Zolman to the Bike Trail Committee with terms ending August 6, 2028.
Okay, and a second on that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Cox, and any comments on this? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Raven.
Yes.
Mr. Phipps.
Yes.
Mr. Clausen.
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2023-2398, approving the appointments of Alex Benishek, TJ Hess, Tony Nicholson to the Tree Commission with terms ending August 6, 2025.
And a second to that motion.
I'll second it, Mayor.
Commissioner Phipps, and any comments on that? None? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mr. Clausen.
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Raven.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve council decision request 2023-2399, approving the water and sewer billing adjustment in the amount of $3,643.11 on behalf of Century 21 Kima Properties located at 3021 Commercial.
Okay, and a second on that motion.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Commissioner Phipps? And any comments on this one?
It's just a water leak they had some time ago. We just didn't get it adjusted
All right,
officially.
roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Next part of the meeting is department reports, starting with the city administrator, Kyle Gill.
It's been just busy with lots of everyday stuff from, working on TIF stuff, getting it ready for joint review board, which is coming up on August 15th with the taxing bodies. You've sent out notifications to any resident within 750 feet about the public hearing that's going to take place September 5th. So just a lot of due diligence on that aspect of it. We've received the final plat for Emerald Acres. We're starting to review that. Getting ready for that. There will be some rezoning on some of the properties. Some of the properties up north are already commercial, but then the way they've laid out the new lots, some of the lots, maybe half of it commercial, half of it residential. So they'll be changing some of those lots, zoning, and far as seems like it's been pretty busy with nuisances, helping out the PD on some nuisances and getting some properties cleared, talk to several owners on situations. Cleanup's been working with Alex as well on different projects for housing and the but the trails. So it's just been very steadily busy the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Any questions for Kyle? Okay, next is the city attorney, Dan Jones.
I don't have much. I was on vacation last week. Appreciate everybody's patience with me being gone, but happy to answer questions about anything that's going on.
Okay, any questions? Next is city clerk, Susan O'Brien.
Pretty much still business as usual, but we'll be searching for a replacement for Kara Kiefer. She is leaving us on the 11th and to finish out her college degree. So that's it.
Okay, any questions for Susan? Thank you. And next was Beth Wright, finance.
So three things to report. First, I have the income tax report, the fiscal year for 2023. Basically, fund by fund, reconciling in cash and funds with the ending cash and listing out vendors that received more than $2,500. So the receipts are just general categories, disbursements are by vendor. And have everything to be the city part, it's done with the library's portion, fire and working. And like the very last page, or the last two pages, salary, personnel, salary categories are listed. We did add a new category this year for 115 and above. I've also passed out the revenue tracking sheet. We want it to provide. They're ahead compared to the year prior. Slightly. Property taxes are ahead. Use tax, sales tax. All those categories are down. So we're running pretty close to where we were a year ago. Last I had the unrestricted cash in the general fund. $11.25 million, $256 million, and the last meeting was $11.6 million. That holds the spot. So I have no other questions.
Any questions? Anybody? Okay, next is Public Works, Dean Barber.
Don't think I have anything significant to report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I think Dean's been relatively busy lately with a lot of projects, and he doesn't want to get into any of that right now. So, any question anybody might have? Okay, next is Fire Chief Jeff Helgoss.
Thank you. Since the last meeting, the guys have answered 140 calls for service. Inspectors have done 6 inspections and follow-ups. We attended Bagel Fest, which we had beautiful weather for. Training wise, they did hazmat, mass decon, ARF training, and then the last 2 weeks, we've trained with Mattoon PD on active shooter situations, which I've been with the department for over 20 years, and the working relationship between fire and police, for all our first responders, it's pretty good to see us all working together, because it's the citizens that'll benefit from that. And just knowing Sam, Ryan, and I spend an hour today just laying out our plans for different scenarios, that could occur in the city. So hopefully we never have to use them. So
I do have one concern. I did see a video of our police chief in the driver's seat of a fire truck.
I would like to thank you for the lateral fire portion.
Okay.
That's not bad. Just wanted to see if I could steal their fire truck.
Yeah, okay.
Not got to see that video, but yes, I have heard
It's scary.
that he was living out his childhood dream, driving the fire truck.
Okay, anything else? Okay,
Just go, stop.
anything else?
No, that's it for me unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, and now it's your turn, Chief Gaines.
944 calls for service in the last 2 weeks and 45 arrests. We did have our rapid response training we do annually at the middle school. And furthermore, next week, I think it is, we have the school safety meeting with the Board of Education. So it's a busy time here for making the schools safe. I'm proud of this school district. It's safer than anywhere, if you ask me, the steps they've taken with the schools. But you see Devin Pedersen out and about, congratulate him. He went to the Police and Fire World Games in Canada. The union sponsored him. And if you know Devin, you'll know he's been wrestling since he was old enough to walk. Was a collegiate level wrestler. He ended up taking second place. He won a match against a guy from Slovakia, and Team India beat him. So tough match. Got videos of him. It's pretty neat to watch, but he represented city of Mattoon very well.
Where was that at?
That was in Canada.
No kidding.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
Any questions for Sam? And next is Arts and Tourism, and I think Dave
Yes.
Cox is going to take that one.
Yes, Angelina was unable to be here this evening, so a few notes on Bagel Fest. We'll have a full report coming in the near future, but sponsorship in 2023 for Bagel Fest saw a 39% increase for sponsorship from 2022. The carnival sales were up over last year's record-breaking year, so another record-breaking year this year on the carnival side. Some of our long-term vendors reported that it was their most successful Bagel Fest ever. We sold out the vendor spaces in May, which is earlier than usual. The festival district in the concerts for Friday and Saturday night were a big hit and a good transition from the beer tent model of past years. And I think just added another little part of the concerts that people enjoyed. And then the 3 nights of concerts were big crowds and a lot of positive feedback. I think people really enjoyed all 3 nights of the concerts. They were very well attended. And the last Bagel Bites concert is this Friday, August 4th. The festival district is in play, and the food trucks will be open from 5 to 8 p.m. and Music with Sound City from 6 to 8 p.m.
Very good.
And then before you know it, Lightworks will be here before you know it. So, just saying, it comes quick.
I'd like to make just a couple of comments about Bagel Fest. A big part of the success of Bagel Fest was the weather, and the weather was outstanding. I was responsible for the weather, the mayor of Mattoon, Normally, the Chamber of Commerce takes responsibility for that. Ed Dowd happens to be remotely on, but he had nothing to do with the weather, and I want to make that clear. Can we put that in the minutes?
Sure.
Okay, so any other comments?
So I have a request. Next year, can you make it 30 degrees cooler?
Yeah, not 30 degrees.
Yes.
We kind of had a break there, yeah, but it was still fairly warm.
Hot.
Okay, no rain though. Community development, Alex Minichek.
Yeah, so a couple of big projects going on. We are actively applying out at Lake Mattoon for the IDNR's OSLAD grant program. So there's about $600,000 worth of development funds out there that could be spread across those $600,000 per. I want to say it's 94 communities are able to receive that grant this year, and zero matching funds required. We'd be using that for paving the marina, getting some playgrounds there, a fishing pier, erosion control, pavilion repair, maybe brand new pavilion, and also remodeling some of the bathrooms there. So, you know, a couple other options as well, but really just, John's doing a fantastic job helping with some of the community aspects of it. Yeah, I asked him to get some support letters. He got 100 in 2 days. So, you know, just, it's a slam dunk, I believe. They've also done a site visit for the kayak launch grant that we applied for. And we heard from Cole County Regional Planning today, if there's a site visit, there's a really good chance you got it. So that's very exciting. From there, housing study is going well, a little slower than I'd like, but we're getting there. We got about 200 plus responses, hoping for at least 1,000. We need 500 for it to be statistically significant. But I firmly believe that we'll get it up to 1K within the next few months. And then we're starting on the walk survey now. From there, also starting to develop an economic development website for the city. And we'll hopefully be linking up with Coles Together to share data with them as well. And then really my last big thing is, you know, we were awarded a federally competitive grant for the AmeriCorps project out at Lake Paradise. So they just came here for their site visit today. They were really excited about the project. And fun facts, you know, we beat out approximately 45 other communities nationally within a 15-state radius for that project. And again, you know, very minimal cost to the city. We're talking $13,000 total to develop about 5 miles of trail in the community, and potentially more if they finish their projects, because then we can send them on down to Lake Mattoon. So fantastic partnerships around that project. Can't do Hope, Douglas Hart, other places. It's pretty much my update.
Great. Any questions we have for Alex?
Oh, but that's a huge, I'll just say that's a huge get for a federally gifted grant, basically. And that's first of the city, right? That we've ever done.
We've definitely got it for federal grants before, but for AmeriCorps, yeah, we've never had.
That's huge. Yeah. And it says a lot about you and your work that you've done with it. So thank you very much on that. Good job.
I would agree. So
Yes,
nice
sir.
report. Good job. Keep it up.
Any other questions, comments? Now comments from the council. We're going to start with Dave Toxton.
Thank you, Mayor. No report this evening.
Gosh,
I know. Keep it quiet.
all right. Mr. Clausen, you're next.
Just want to kind of add to what Alex was talking about. John Wurtzball has really got a good business mind about him. And after the campground and he gets all that taken care of, probably first to middle of November, start generating some ideas about making Lake Mattoon a destination. And if we can keep your fingers crossed, that OSLAD grant with no match for a brand new parking lot, amongst other things, be a good way to jumpstart that area for sure. So thanks, Alex. Thanks, John Wurtzball.
Great. Next, we're going to go to Commissioner Phipps.
Oh, gosh. I actually have a handful of things. We have in Public Works at least 21 different projects going on. And 8 of those are in the construction process, and at least 13 are in the design and planning process. And we meet monthly as public, as you all know, the Public Works Advisory Meeting. And just a couple of the highlights. Y'all have seen the bike trail extension project from 10th and 16th Street. That's going along real well and progressing. A couple of the other highlights, I believe, and Dean can correct me on this, but Hal Asphalt's scheduled to start on 14th and 6th Street coming up in September. That is a big hit. Broadway streetscaping is in the final stages to get that bid out. That's the project from the 14th to 16th Street. And we're moving ahead on the bike trail and the hotel connection, and also a little Wabash project, drainage project. Both of those projects are kind of in the easement attainment phase. So we just have one more easement to get on both of those. And then on the drainage side, we're just waiting on DCEO for grant announcement. So other than that, that's all I've got.
Any questions for Commissioner Phipps? Commissioner Graven?
I have nothing, Mayor.
Nothing, okay. From my perspective, I think everybody heard a lot of good news tonight about things that are going on in our community. Mostly responsible for that are the department heads and the leaders of those departments. Council certainly gives those people support, which is also important. But there is a lot of activity, and I think we got a lot to be proud of. I did talk to several citizens this week about issues they wanted to talk about. Some of them housing issues, particularly houses that don't look very good in our community. And we talked about what we're already doing. A lot of times when people call in, they don't understand or they don't know what we're doing, and maybe we don't do a very good job telling them sometimes. But all the discussions went really well. We've still got a lot of work to do, but we are getting a lot done. Sports complex is still coming along well. The housing projects, there's a lot of activity there. So again, I think we're really heading down the right path. I don't know if you have any questions for me. I'll be happy to answer those. So if you do, other than that, I think that's the end of our meeting. Yes, sir.
Could I add one more thing? I typically wait until my employees become full-time to introduce them.
Okay.
But with you passing our MOU, one of the members, Colton Romine, is going to be the beneficiary of that. And I'd just like to introduce him briefly. And then in March, when he turns 21, I'll give you the full lowdown. The Romine name may sound familiar. His dad, sitting right back there, is one of our ship captains. So I'm really looking forward to every time I've talked to Colton through this process. He is super excited and eager. And I think he will be a tremendous asset to the city in many years to come. So.
Well, you come from good blood, so hopefully you'll do as well. Yeah, so that's exciting. Normally, when we introduce people that might be candidates, I ask them if they prepared a speech. You don't really have a speech prepared, do you? Offhand? Okay.
But he does need to be prepared for March now that he knows about it. So,
Yeah. Working.
5 months.
Okay, so that's it then. We need one more motion.
motion, I'll make a mayor.
Yes.
Mayor, I will make a motion to adjourn, please.
Okay, great. And second on that one,
Second.
Mr. Clausen, roll call.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Graven?
No.
Mr. Fick?
Yes.
Mr. Clausen?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, ice cream for sure tonight.
I know what you're going to do.
That's too much.
And then.
That's a good and effective meeting. And it's just straight up 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock, yeah.
I'm getting